Neapolitan ice cream pale ale from Northern Monk.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. I've got one of these novelty beers. Well, I call them novelty beers. It is Neapolitan ice cream pale ale. Now, I saw this in Morrison's today, and I like what Northern Monk do. They do some great beers, and I saw this and I thought I've got to try it, but I'm not a big fan of these novels. I call them novelty beers, or experimental type beers. I recently tried the pineapple milkshake by Black Sheep. Fucking vile. It was shit. And my missus loved it. She gulped it down like there was no tomorrow. So, again, as I always say on these videos, these are just my opinions. It doesn't count for much. As the old saying goes, opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one, but you don't necessarily want to hear it. But I will give you my honest opinion of this Neapolitan ice cream pale ale from Northern Monk. Now, as I say, they're not a bad brewery. They're based up there in Yorkshire, and I've reviewed a couple of theirs before, and they've been really good. They've done a pale ale and IPA that I've done, and yeah, top of the tree, this lot. These have their place, because not everyone likes IPAs and hoppy beers. This is the other end of the spectrum. At the risk of sounding like a sexist bastard, women love this. And my missus is a prime example. She won't touch any of the IPAs, she thinks they're vile, but she'll gulp shit like this down. I'm not shit, but anyway. What does it say? It says, a sweet pale ale that recreates the flavours of the classic Neapolitan ice cream with the additions of lactose. Right, yeah, I thought there was going to be lactose in it because they had lactose in the Black Sheep pineapple milkshake IPA. Strawberries and chocolate sauce. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's just like, you know, the rule book goes out the window, which is good. You know, I'm slagging it off and all that, but right, let's get it open. Come on. And I was expecting a huge waft of sweetness, but I'm not really getting anything. Okay, well, let's get it into the glass and see what is happening with this. It's a pale ale, so, or a flavoured pale ale I'd call this. It's a 330ml can, and the alcohol on this is 6.2, so it's got a little bit of a kick in it. So it's got lactose in it. What are the ingredients? Does it say? Ingredients: malted barley, gluten, wheat, gluten, lactose, milk, strawberry puree, fuck, yeast, hops, vanilla and chocolate essence. Right. It could be great, it could be shit. There it is in the glass, very, very slight haze on it. Medium carbonation. Again, not a lot on the nose, which doesn't really mean much, but you generally can gauge a beer from the aroma. Let's get it down the hatch. Actually, that is not bad. It's got It's almost lagerish. The chocolate and the vanilla essence almost taste like a sweet malt. There's definite strawberry in there. I can get hints of strawberry, but it's very subdued, very subtle, which I like. There's a bit of a sweet aftertaste, that lactose, I can get that as well. But it's not like that pineapple milkshake. That was just so full on and sweet, and it was almost like a soft drink. This is not too bad. There's a strawberry sort of aftertaste to it, but it's quite subtle. There's little hints of malt in there as well on the aftertaste. As I say, it's very, very slightly cloudy. I know you can sort of see through that, but it is a little bit hazy. There's lots of carbonation in that, and I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, there you go. You can see how much carbonation is in there, but the mouthfeel is quite smooth. Head is dissipating at a rate of knots. And the malt is coming through on that as well. It's okay. This was nearly £2 a can. I don't think it was worth £2 a can, to be honest. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I know the good stuff that this lot do. So I'm not going to sort of cast aspersions about the brewery or anything like that, because I know they. You know, if they wanted to, they can brew a fantastic IPA, they can brew a fantastic pale ale as well. But I don't know, it's just these type of novelty beers, they're okay. And this isn't too bad, it's not like the other stuff. Again, I'm comparing this to the, you know, the pale ale that the Black Sheep Brewery done, which has got, you know, the lactose in it. That's the only thing I can compare it to, really, and this is streets ahead of it, I think. It's much better. But on its own merits, if I just got this, it does just enough to make me realise, or to make me think, that this is a beer and not a novelty, you know, sweet drink, as a lot of these beers do with the, you know, with the added essence, flavours and extracts in them. You know, it seems to be becoming quite common now, which I think is good. You know, every brewer should experiment, of course, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. You know, not like the strict, oh, you have to use yeast, hops, malt and barley and nothing else, because, you know, you'd never get anywhere, and you have to experiment. But I wouldn't buy this again, put it that way. As pleasant as it is, it's not for me. But having said that, it's okay. So what would I give that out of 10? Well, if you're expecting a huge, you know, batch of sweet, milky sort of beer, you're going to be disappointed, because this is more akin to beer than it is to the ice cream. Personally, these type of beers really aren't my thing. It's okay if there was nothing else. I don't know what scenario this would be, but if there was nothing else to drink apart from this, yeah, I could drink a few of these. And it's 6.2, so it's, you know, it is quite drinkable, and, you know, you'd get a few of these down your neck and you'd know about it. But for the price, I don't know, it's not for me. I'd give it a 5.5 out of 10, and that's no reflection on Northern Monk, because Northern Monk do some fantastic beers. It's probably their novelty beer that they have to do. You know, every brewer does one, and this is theirs. Is it stand out? No. Is it going to set the world on fire? No, definitely not. I'm not going to go further than 5.5 out of 10. And would I recommend it? Well, it falls in between a beer and a novelty beer. Some people might like it. You know, lager drinkers who like a bit of sweetness may like that. There is a bit of malt in that. I'm getting hints of malt in that, and you know, it's lager type malt, so it may appeal to them, but it's not for me. 5.5 out of 10, and recommended with caution. And remember, beer is working class champagne.